Hello, I'm Megan Jones, editor at Call Centre Helper, and I'm delighted to be joined today by Maria McCann of Neos Wave to talk about the launch of our latest Call Centre Helper research, particularly around the initiatives many contact centres have in place right now. So we've been seeing lots of positive trends in this space, particularly around hybrid working, social events, and unpaid leave. But Maria, in your analysis, you really put the spotlight on how contact centres aren't necessarily behind other organizations in this space, they're just growing from a different origin. So what does this boil down to day?
Well, I think Megan, what jumped out at me from the initiatives part of the survey was that the initiatives seem to be maturing and more aligned with people's working life and work-life
Yeah.
balance or work-life immersion. So, if you think about where we've come from in call centers, there's been a different expectation or separation between what happens, in the boardroom. So strategy happens upstairs, execution happens downstairs,
Mm,
and never the twain shall meet, so to speak. And so that's always brought about different freedoms. So I remember in my contact center days, getting Christmas off was a rarity, but yet HQ would shut down for the whole Christmas period. So
yeah.
in terms of incentives, they can be very misaligned if they're not managed with a lot of trust and maturity.
Mm,
And so where have contact centers come from? They've come from a place of almost make do and mend for years. So we can't have people have Christmas off. We can't offer flexible working. So what do? We offer like social games or prizes and things like that. That's
mm,
really been really common in the contact center environment. But actually, what your survey I think has highlighted is perhaps a maturing of those initiatives and
mm,
more of an alignment to creating more of a high trust, mature culture, less parent child, more adult relationship, where actually we're seeing from what your survey is saying, we're seeing more contact centres saying, yes, we will be doing flexible working.
mm,
Yes, we will be doing annualized banking hours because people can manage their own rotas, they can manage their own schedules because guess what? They manage their own lives. Um, and so I think, that's kind of as a macro trend, that's what jumped out at me was
mm,
actually, if I look at those initiatives and what's increasing, it's the kind of maturer, more high trust initiatives that seem to be growing.
mm,
Where does that come from? That comes from pulling that thread of the origin of the contact center, which has traditionally been that sort of poor relation or parent child within the relationship within the organization with the HQ.
mm. And that's all fantastic to see. I think another trend in the survey is that since COVID, things like social events and spot prizes in the face-to-face environment are really on the climb as well, which is so nice to see as I suppose more and more people are returning to the office. So to wrap it then, what would be your key takeaways for contact center leaders from this research?
I think just continuing to invest in high trust initiatives.
Mm,
That's the thing that's going to really help your contact center mature, and also challenging yourself on the truth of those initiatives. So if you're saying you take agent empowerment, for example, I think over 50% of the survey respondents say they offer it. But if you're still if you're still kind of if agents still need permission to override a broken process, or they say, well, I'd love to help you but I can't, I'm going to have to pass you on, then maybe you're not quite there yet in the agent empowerment initiative as you thought you were.